If I was good at Photoshop, this video would start by me coming out of the void, but I don't know how to do that. And you don't know about the void yet. So we're going to get there. And maybe if anybody with Photoshop skills is watching this, they can help me. Maybe we'll animate Green Baby coming out of the void. So happy Nutcracker season to those of you that are still celebrating with me. Today we're going to talk about the 1988 movie Care Bears Nutcracker. Before we get too far into this, I'm going to introduce myself. Hello, I'm Bailey. If you're watching this, you're probably my friend and I sent it to you, so thank you very much for watching it. And if you're not somebody I know in real life, how'd you get here? Hey, thanks for watching too. I'm glad you're here. You're my friend now too. For today's mic stand, we've got the Green Baby wearing my poinsettia dress. My poinsettia dress. The poinsettia dress that I got online. It's not official American Girl merch. I've been looking at the sewing patterns that were official to try to figure out whose it is. So if you are an American Girl aficionado, whose dress do you think this was? Also, don't tell my mom I stole this sweater from her years ago in high school. If she's looking for it, I don't have it and you didn't see it here. So, Care Bears. They were popular in the 80s. I know that. And then they rebooted when I was a kid. And I did have some. There's some hanging in my background. There's a birthday cake. And one that's like giraffe print. And I remember having Funshine. I had a couple. I had a penguin. I liked the penguin a lot. Maybe one of the babies. I don't know. I don't remember. They're long gone. It's a long story how I ended up with those two. So I didn't really watch the movies. I was a Barbie movie kid, in case you can't tell from how often I talk about Barbie. I watched Barbie movies, not Care Bears. And I think my parents weren't ever really into Care Bears. But I liked looking at them at Toys R Us. R.I.P. Toys R Us. You fly high, angel. Okay, so how did we get here? I love garage sales because I like going through people's stuff. It's very fun. The only thing better than a garage sale is an estate sale because then I get to see the inside of your house while I look at your stuff. Very fun for me. So I went to a garage sale and I saw Care Bears Nutcracker for like $1. So I bought it because I had owned Barbie Nutcracker since college. Don't ask when that was. And I already owned Tom and Jerry Nutcracker. And I had the thought of, wouldn't it be funny to just have a collection of media that uses the Nutcracker? Funny to who? To me. And that's all that matters, is making myself laugh. So I bought it. And when I got home, I put it in. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch it. I hated it. So then I forced myself to watch it for this. And I actually liked it. We'll get to it. But I don't know. Maybe there had to be snow. There had to be snow for me to like it. Maybe it had to be closer to Christmas. I had to have already watched Scooby-Doo. I don't know. But I liked it a lot. So let's get into this discussion of the movie. Okay, so to talk about the Care Bears, there's something that we have to get out of the way first, which is that their motives for coming to Earth never quite make sense. And what I mean by that is, it's 1988. There's always bad things going on. And the Care Bears, also, this is the first Care Bear movie I've ever watched. If I get the lore wrong, please say the meanest things you can in the comments. That always really gets people to like you and agree with your opinions. So the Care Bears, they live in Care-a-Lot. I think that's what it's called. They live in Care-a-Lot, cute clouds, and they come to the Earth to help people because they care. But the girl that they help in this movie is sad because her best friend moved. She did not move herself. Somebody else moved. And it's around the holidays, there's snow out. There's people going through it. Worse, children experiencing famine, homelessness, cancer, abuse. And I think that Care Bears, that's the disbelief that we have to suspend. Once the action gets going, I can forget that. But how the Care Bears why they got involved in the first place, it's weak and it drives me a little bit crazy. So we're just going to have to like push that aside. We're going to acknowledge it right now. It's weird how the Care Bears decide who to help. Okay, put that. We'll give it to Brody. Oh, he is right behind me. Here, you can have my disbelief. Put it over here. Oh, and also for you Care Bears fans. Ooh, what is the fandom name? This is not an analysis of Care Bears. This is I like the Nutcracker music. Please leave hate comments. So this movie starts with kids practicing for the Nutcracker. There's not nearly enough kids on that stage, but okay. Their teacher is Miss Walker. So Miss Walker tells them the story of the Nutcracker. It's so odd how she's like, by E.T.A. Hoffman.
Actually, Holly, Tchaikovsky's ballet is only one of the many different ways the original story by E.T.A. Hoffman has been retold.
Which is a good way to get we made it up out of the way. Kind of like there was a movie a while back called like Noah or something. It was about Noah's Ark. And whenever it says the untold story, I know that you made it up. So that's kind of how this feels. But, you know, there aren't Care Bears in the ballet. So they do have to take some creative liberties. These clips are like not working. They really don't show up on camera how I was hoping they would. And I've worn them all day and they keep pulling my hair out. Oh, and then Miss Walker tells them, see, it's like stuck in my hair. And then Miss Walker tells them that she learned the story of the Nutcracker from the Care Bears. And everybody's really excited that she knows the Care Bears. So everybody's aware that these bears care, but not about kidnapping victims. I have to stop. Now that we've gotten our exposition out of the way, we go to Care-a-Lot, and the Care Bears are decorating for Christmas. Are they Christian? I need to stop. And the babies, Hugs and Tugs, who we're just going to call the babies, they are wandering around trying to find the perfect ornament to add to the tree, which mostly means that they walk around and gawk at everybody while they work. And watching this interaction, is Braveheart the mayor of Care-a-Lot? Is he in charge? The Care Bears are run by a lion? Interesting. But yeah, so then they see that there's only one sad child. A kid on Earth is sad. They must be the only kid. And it's Anna because, like I said, her friend moved away. She didn't even move. She didn't go through the trauma of moving. Her friend did. Big day for her. And they say, but it's Christmas. How can you be sad? Or nobody can be sad. And we once again have to put our disbelief over here because Christmas time is the holidays have the highest suicide rates of any other time of the year. There's a lot of people that are sad around Christmas. Elvis wrote a song about it. Blue Christmas. Did he write that? He sang one, and I like it. So Grumpy and Funshine go to help her, and I can't explain it, but the car looks edible. I would eat it. And, you know, we get the normal hijinks for arriving at the house. It's very similar to Scooby-Doo outside, but for some reason, it is, like, silent while Funshine dangles. We see a boy child playing pirates, and then we meet Anna. She's blonde. So they give her, Funshine gives Anna some advice, tells her friendship is in the heart. If you really give a shit about your friend, you're going to give her a call. Long distance can work. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. And then a portal opens, and a Nutcracker slowly levitates into the room. Look out! And I don't know why this portal is so ominous. If it were to show up in Stranger Things, it would fit there. That's the portal I was talking about in my intro. Unfortunately, the Nutcracker has lost his memories and he doesn't know how he got there, so he does a gay little dance.
Thanks for straightening me out. But this is rather embarrassing.
And then the portal opens again and some child-sized rats float in.
Here!
Now what?
So then we get a chase scene, It goes on for a really long time. The boy child is named Peter. He's Anna's little brother. He's just down to fight. Sometimes Peter has a weird accent. Also, I didn't know that the Care Bears had superpowers. There was like a Cards Against Humanity card that said Care Bear Stare, and I thought that was referencing their plastic eyes, that it just kind of feels like... And I thought Care Bear Stare was like when you blink, or not blink, when you stare at somebody unblinking, not superpowers from my tummy cutie mark. What do they call the thing on their tummies? It's not a cutie mark. I know that's My Little Pony. During the chase scene, the Nutcracker hits his head and gets his memories back. Well, most of them. But he does remember that the rats work for the evil vizier, the Grand Vizier, who's trying to control Toyland. And this chase scene is still going on! The Vizier will destroy everything if he gets control, which means no toys for Christmas, and I don't know how Toyland corresponds to Toys for Christmas, but you're just going to have to trust him on this, okay? Your disbelief is over there. The babies are looking for an ornament in the car, but then the distress signal goes off, so they end up responding to it because they're just in the car. Do they have parents? Where are they? Where are your parents?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Where are your parents?
It's mostly non-bears that go. You've got Tenderheart responds to it, Braveheart, and the elephant, who I tried a lot of times to hear their name. I'm just going to put it on screen. Oh, also they sent the rats back through the portal. Peter and the babies want to go, and everybody's like, no. But Peter's really pissy, so he convinces the babies that they can look for ornaments in Toyland, and they go anyway. We cut to the Vizier, who has captured the Sugar Plum Fairy. I like her design. And wants her to give him the ring that would give him the power to control Toyland. And this feels racist. We can put the period at the end of the sentence. But it also feels like really Jafar. Like, it really feels like Jafar. Was this just like the common casual racism of the time, of just how people depicted that? Or is this another instance of Disney ripping off a lower budget toy movie? Because, like, look at Rapunzel in Tangled. She could have had any hobby other than painting. She could have worn any color other than purple. And yet, I mean, I'm glad that there's no horny weasel. But Disney, you've got some explaining to do. Okay, back to it. The Vizier tells the Rat King to get the Nutcracker so he can burn him. I don't recall the Rat King working for anybody in the Nutcracker, and I missed it. I must have looked away, but apparently the Rat King did get hit with Anna's shoe, so you get a point for adaptation. And then the Vizier sees that the Care Bears and the Nutcracker and Anna are coming in through the mouse hole, so I guess the portal is just a thing we all know and use. Why does it make that sound? Why am I scared of it? I talked about it with a friend, and apparently, like, all Care Bears movies have something that's just, like, scary for no reason. Which is a trend we should bring back. Put in just a random thing that scares kids for no reason. That's funny. Builds character. And then a toy train appears, so they ride it through Toyland. It's a very candy place. Check out this moon. I love it with my whole heart. Toyland is kind of in ruins, and there's spooky clown shadows watching them. And now I'm realizing that I misspoke when I said I had a Funshine Bear. I had Cheer Bear. Where is Cheer Bear? I need a pink bear. Anyways, so then the clowns try to sabotage the train. And we have an action scene. Not a fan. Also, something happened with the train and they just, like, fix it up. Whatever. It is not that important. Turns out the toys are all beat up because they tried to save Toyland and couldn't. That's sad. And then they sit around a fire and tell the Nutcracker what's been going on and, like, explain everything with the Grand Vizier. And there keeps being these vine booms that just take me out of it. I was laughing so hard because it feels random. I can't tell if it's at an interval. It doesn't feel like it's to certain words. They just sometimes feel like you need a vine boom.
I'll never forget that day. The day when the Vizier and his army of rats overthrew the Prince of Toyland and took control over Toyland Castle.
What happened to the prince?
No one knows for sure. Some say he was killed in a big fight with the vizier. Others say the vizier imprisoned him in a far-off land. But whatever happened, the vizier didn't get the prince's ring.
A ring?
The prince's ring is very powerful. Whoever wears it has complete control over Toyland. If the vizier had gotten the ring, there wouldn't be any chance of beating him. But the Sugar Plum Fairy, who had kept all of Toyland beautiful up till then, managed to hide the ring from the vizier. The vizier was furious. He had his henchman, the Rat King, enslave all the toys in Toyland. The rats were merciless. They burned our homes and chained us up, making us prisoners in our own land. The Rat King then forced all the toys to look high and low in every nook and cranny for the prince's ring. My friends and I would still be looking for the ring if we didn't escape from the rats. Then we saw your train, and you know the rest.
So the Nutcracker decides he's going to rescue the Sugar Plum Fairy and get the ring, and everybody just kind of laughs at him. And well, he also like falls over. He doesn't inspire leadership. So then when everybody laughs at him, Braveheart shames them for that. And then we find out that his clown friend is Harley Quinn. I'm going to give this another point for adaptation. I think it would have been hilarious if they included Mother Ginger. Imagine. They fix the train. They ride it towards the castle. The rats prepare for war. Braveheart strategy, he's just going to ram the train into the mice. Go off, king. Mayor, I don't know. And the Nutcracker calls them cheese eaters, and he says it like it's a slur. But good news, Peter and the babies get captured by the rats. I lied, that's not good news. They raft to the castle. The babies and Peter, we can just call them all the babies. The babies are being held in a prison, the dungeon in the castle. And the baby bears, Hugs and Tugs, are upset that they didn't get an ornament. Yeah, that's the pressing issue right now. Childlike innocence, I guess. And Peter says he's swearing off adventure. The non-babies sneak into the castle, and we have an entire song of them sneaking around. Peter bamboozles the Rat King into jail, and he gets out with Hugs and Tugs. Nutcracker frees the Sugar Plum Fairy, who tells us that the ring is hidden in a walnut on the tree, and then they say, let's get that nut.
Come on, Care Bears! Let's get that nut!
I think Pitbull would agree with that when he said, I'm like a squirrel always looking for a nut. So they get in, then they drop it, Grand Vizier has it, and then he covers them all in taffy. I don't like how he manhandles the Sugar Plum Fairy. Reminder, he is evil. This is in the 80s when evil was allowed to be evil. The Grand Vizier can't open the nut on his own, so he tells the Nutcracker to open it, and he says no. And the Grand Vizier threatens the Care Bears, that are not all bears, and then Braveheart starts on his noble, don't do it, speech, and then he gets turned into wood, and then everybody's taken away except for the elephant, whose name I still don't know. And that so they could turn him into wood while everybody else was out of the room, and Grumpy's next. The rats release the Rat King. Anna, everybody's wood now, and it's just Anna and the Nutcracker, so everybody's wood except for Anna, because the Nutcracker is made out of wood. And this is the point where he's like, maybe I'll just do what he wants. I don't like that he's threatening Anna. Fuck everybody else. Anna's the one who matters here. But Anna tells him, don't open it anyway. She's got her priorities. When they grab Anna, the Nutcracker says he'll do it because it would break his heart to see her turned into wood. Fuck Grumpy. So now we get to sit through the Vizier gloating, and the Rat King blames other rats for why the babies got out, and they are like still talking about fucking ornaments. Shut up. Get over it. You need to get out of here, you stupid babies. The blue one decides that that's the nut is the ornament that he wants. The rats accidentally freed the Sugar Plum Fairy. We have another chase scene for the nut. Now we are basically where we were before the chase scene, and he wants the Nutcracker to open the nut. How does he picture that? Does he have to put it in his mouth? Would the knife work for him? Can he just open it with his hands? No, so actually none of the above. It goes in his hand and then it just opens on its own.
Yes. Huh?
The Grand Vizier moves so slowly to try to grab it that the Sugar Plum Fairy can swoop in, grab it, and put it on the Nutcracker's hand. All the spells break. The Nutcracker was the prince. He has no real design change. His hair and a normal nose. And he says he remembers everything now. I don't really understand how we ended up where we did. With him like being in the tower and all of that. I don't think Toyland needed to get its shit rocked. If just wearing the ring would have fixed it. Interesting. Bad prince. Probably because you're like 10, running a country. The Care Bears combine their powers to blast either the Vizier or the rats. I wasn't looking. Toyland is fixed, If the Nutcracker had just worn the ring the whole time, this wouldn't have happened. Everybody moves weird while saying goodbye. Old animation. I think it's fun. I like the quirks. I miss hand-drawn animation, and AI will never match this. Even bad art is good art if it was made by a person. Even if it's good, but it was made by AI, it's still bad. And they're standing by the train, so now I'm starting to wonder, are they going to leave via train or are they going to take the scary portal? The answer was scary portal. The babies keep the nut. Peter swears off adventure. The prince has a gay laugh, and Anna cries. So does the prince about saying goodbye. We'll always be close in our memories. Yeah, okay. Anna wakes up in her bed and is like, where are we? And Peter's like, dude, we're at home. What the hell? Come meet the new neighbor. And the new neighbor is named Alan Prince. And oh my God, he's identical to the prince. And he gives Anna a nutcracker. This is the first time they've met. And then they shake hands for a really long time.
It's beautiful. And it's exactly what I wanted this Christmas.
And then we cut back to that Nutcracker rehearsal. The kids enjoyed the story. They ask what happened to Anna, at which point Alan walks in and they realize, oh my God, Miss Walker is Anna. And they leave together. They don't have the same last name. Honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think they're together. I don't think they're going to get married. I think they're just, that's her gay best friend. Maybe she was his beard for a little bit, but like, they're not going to get married. And then we pan up, and the Care Bears were watching the whole time. So years have passed. Anna's an adult now. And somehow Hugs and Tugs are still babies. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why do they still need diapers? And then the last one on here says, don't make me watch this again. So, like, it's good background. That if you've got kids, it's fine. It's fine. They can watch it. Scare them a little with the portal. If you're gonna if you want background noise and go about your day, if you come in at a random point, it's not gonna really make that much sense anyway. But that's just kind of how the Nutcracker is. It doesn't make a ton of sense anyway. So if you want it as background noise, it's like 5 out of 5 scary portals. But if it's something you want to like sit down and watch, it's like 3. The music's good. If you're just like wandering through the room occasionally, like let's say you're having cookie day, you've got the Nutcracker suite happening in the background. It's good environment setting. If you pass through the room and see something out of the corner of your eye, you're not going to know what's going on, and that's kind of fun. Maybe you and whoever's with you can piece it together. Don't spend more than $1 on it. I feel as though I should do more Care Bears because this was kind of a romp, and knowing that they're all kind of scary is interesting. And also, there's like so much Care Bears. There's a show, and I think I watched it on Boomerang, R.I.P. Boomerang. Okay, also like R.I.P. HBO. This can't be legal. That's a monopoly. So like R.I.P. Warner Brothers in theaters, Netflix. They're all gonna have Netflix lighting. Okay, that is not the point of this video, but I want you to know I am upset. I was upset when Boomerang closed, and I was mad at HBO. But now HBO is going to get absorbed into Netflix, and I think I'm going to be even angrier at Netflix. I've been feeling a lot of rage lately. My birthday's coming up, and I think I'm going to do kind of like a spa day thing, try to chill out, but maybe I actually need a rage room. Much to think about. And oh my God, so that tangent was to get to the part where I tell you that there was like a new Care Bears show, and I watched a little bit of it randomly late at night, and I don't recall them going to Earth, which I think solves the problem that a lot of us have with Care Bears, which is, why do you only help kind of sad white kids? There's a lot going on in the earth. Yeah, in the earth, on Earth. Racism, poverty, famine, abuse, showing up because a girl is sad because her friend moved. She's not even the one who moved. Feels weird. So I think the best way to address it is the Care Bears live in their own world, kind of like My Little Pony. I think what I would have preferred as far as Care Bear Nutcracker is if we like followed the story of the Nutcracker that people more know, and also the Care Bears are here, which is how I would picture a Tom and Jerry Nutcracker, because I've watched Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka. That movie is hilarious. Nobody that works at Tom and Jerry ever wanted to draw people, and you can tell looking at them. And Tom and Jerry did do Nutcracker. And that's not how they did it. So we're going to talk about that next week. Yay, Nutcracker. So final thoughts about this movie. It's fine. Is it a good adaptation of the Nutcracker? You know, I think it's unique. I don't think it's bad, but I also don't think it's good. It just is. It's fun. It's not great. They could have used more music from it, but it's fine. I feel like I say that about all the movies. It's fine. We're going to say I liked it, even though in my last note it said I didn't like it. I think I did. A week later, I have good memories of it. So I'm going to say I liked it. I will say I do not like the Care Bear reboot design. I have one, but I keep it at my friend's house for when I spend the night in her guest room. And I don't like that they have facial expressions now. I like what I thought the Care Bear stare was. Also, those heart-shaped noses were so good for chewing on. I was not somebody who chewed that much on my toys. That's my brother. But there were some things that were good to chew on. So those are the standouts. Polly Pocket shoes, Care Bear noses. What can I say? Okay, yeah. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I would like to take this time to remind you to make a donation this holiday season. Maybe a toy drive, maybe a coat drive, something at a church, something at a grocery store. You never know the different ways that you can go out and help somebody. One way that you can do it online is if you go donate to your local PBS station. The goal is for it to be free for everybody, but when funding is cut, it's up to us to fund it. So if you have the means, donate, help support it so that the people who don't have means can still watch it and benefit from it. What else? Like and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok at BLYHDGN. And I will see you for some Tom and Jerry. Okay, bye!